Please welcome Cornelius Eady and the Cornelius Eady Group.
Thank you, Jason. And thank you all again for coming out. Can you hear me? It's okay, good. I mean, you never can tell these live things. It's great to come out and be here in the afternoon. And I decided that I'm going to read a lot of New York-centric poems. Because most of my poetry career was here in New York. And I'm going to start with one of my early poems, New York poems. And this started off by, I was actually living in New Jersey. My wife was going to college, and we were coming in on the weekends to come to the open readings and stuff like that. Back in the day, this is the 70s, I believe, right? There weren't slams yet. There were open mics, right? People would just show up and just read, right? And so I'd be going to these open mics and things like that, and then we'd go and we'd make a day of it. We'd go into town, come into town, and do this. And then I would notice the people around. We'd come into the Port Authority on 42nd Street, and then I'd notice all the street vendors selling stuff that was, usually hot merchandise, stolen merchandise, right? Fake bags, fake, watches, etc., etc. So I got the idea of what would it be like if you were actually selling stolen poems, hot poems on the street. Hawker. I put on dog's teeth, an afro with a silver Swiss blade just peeking from the top. Then the loincloth. I oil my body. I walk to a street corner and sell poems from a paper bag. Some only contain one word. Some are weather reports. Some I make up on the spot. Others are for the drivers who pass by and laugh at me through their roll-down windows. I pretend I'm blind, and the right poem brings back my sight. Some poems are saxophones, which I blow like a black-legged bird. Others are drums, which I bang each time the crowd attention drifts. Others are flowers for romantics who believe a poem is not a poem without one. I sell them until I reach the black, soundless poem at the bottom. Then I go home, change my clothes, and become anyone. Thank you. Yes, I'm going to jump around a lot. This is actually later. This is a 9/11 poem, and this is actually about a poet named Sekou Sandiata. And if you don't know Sekou's work, you should. Do yourself a favor and look him up. The poetry is fantastic. He did more than poetry. He did theater. He did music. He was an incredible poet and human being. He didn't die at 9/11, but this is a poem that basically brings up his memory after he dies. I was reading. I don't know how people felt about 9/11, but for me, it was really, really hard to get back into writing poetry after that. And I finally got invited to do a reading at KGB's with Sekou. And we were sitting there listening to the sirens and everything. And I wrote this poem after he died. Communion. After the fall of the towers, it's hard to leave our apartments, pull our eyes from the television, stuck on instant replay, so many angles, so many lenses, all this work and effort just to be told they're gone, again, then again. How to deal with this invitation, now seemingly from another planet, to come and read poetry at a downtown bar. For the first time in my life, poetry feels a bit foolish. The thought of a grown man reading verse aloud a half mile from a mass graveyard. The wreck of things too numerous to list, a shamble so loud it still rattles in our astonished brain pans, even after all these weeks. And I hear my parents' early doubts. What sort of job is this? The words that say, I love jazz, my singing about mice, the things I overhear then slot into stanzas. After saying no to one or two of these, maybe it's the memory of my dead dad getting up, rolling out, can't recall a sick day on the job that plops me in the cab, his soft, wordy boy. Maybe I'm only doing what the sun-burnt grass on our lawn upstate does, what doesn't die off, soon curls slowly towards the light and air, tender, relentless. Maybe I need what this small crowd that gather here needs, the boom of Sekou Santiada's voice, though the sirens remind us, and the streets are spare and ghostlit, and we still don't know how to put it. I use music a lot in my poetry and musicians a lot in my poetry. This is the one for Nina Simone after she died. Nina's Blues. Your body, hard vowels in a soft dress, is still. What you can't know is that after you died, all the black poets in New York City took a deep breath and breathed you out. Dark corners of small clubs, the silence you left twitching on the floors of the gigs you turned your back on, the balled up fists of notes flung angry from a keyboard. You won't be able to hear us try to etch what rose off your eyes from your throat. Out you bleed, not as sweet or sweaty through our dark fingertips. We drum breasts. We drum thank you. We drum stay. Dead man rides subway. He lolls, he sways, this lone male sleeper minding his business on the Broadway local. Some let him snooze and think they're doing him a favor. Others wait to see his head startle, awake, his drowsy panic. Uptown when he meant to be downtown, downtown when he intended to be up. And feel a little bit cheated when his nap proves to take longer than their stop. Need I tell you life in New York City is different, difficult? There he floats, slightly out of style from the rest of us. And some of the dance poems I did in my second book, Victims of LA's Dance Craze, are New York oriented. Aerial ballet. I am not done with my falling. I turn in the air like a fish who realizes he is a fish somewhere in the middle of a tragic miracle. Do you wish to know about the tiny stars? Very well, I will tell you about the tiny stars. I am a tiny star. My fingers burn in the air, leaving a viper trail that might be mistaken for a jet. I am not done with my falling. I turn in the air like a rock that has always dreamed of being a great, weightless contradiction. New York at dusk is a cluster of tiny, grounded stars, and as I burn towards their heart, a great peace lightens my bones. I am not done with my falling. I turn in the air like a snake dreaming off a bad meal. I am dropped from a bird beneath a canopy of stars which hiss like the campfires I fall towards that will make who knows what out of this awkward story. I am not done with my falling. I am following my blood, which has decided to court the streets of New York in its own strange fashion. I see the moon, a pale specter of a style, softly appear like smoke before a fire. And as I plunge, the streets forever curl away like cellophane beneath a badge. Radio. There is the woman who will not listen to music. There is the man who dreams of kissing the lips attached to the voice. There is the singer who reinvents the world in musical notation. There is the young couple who dance slowly on the sidewalk as if the rest of the street didn't exist. There is the schoolboy whose one possession is an electric box that scrambles the neighborhood. There is the young girl who locks her bedroom door but lip syncs in the mirror. There is the young beau who believes in the songs so much he hears them even when he isn't kissing someone. There is the mother who absent-mindedly sways to the beat but fears the implications for her daughter. There is the man who carries one in his breast pocket and pretends it's a Luger. There are the two young punks who lug one into our car on the stalled D train, who, as we tense for the assault, tune in a classical music station as if this were Saturday night on another world. This is a song about, this is a poem about Thelonious Monk, the jazz pianist. And even though it's not really, it says it's in New York, it's about New York, because it's about the mythology of jazz, right? There's a truth about jazz, and then there's a mythology about jazz. And this is a mythology story about, I think, about Thelonious, right? So I wrote this poem, the early draft of this poem, and then I went to a workshop in a prison. And I'm working with the convicts, and I read the poem, you know, and the convict, and afterwards the convict comes up to me, one convict comes up to me and says, oh yeah, you know, I love that poem about Thelonious Monk. But you do know how he did it, don't you? And then there's that weird moment, right, between two black guys, right? When basically, do you want to admit you're hip or unhip, right? Yeah, so I decided to admit that I was unhip. I didn't know. And he said, so the convict said, well, you know, I lived in Thelonious Monk's neighborhood, man. Thelonious, man, he would, you know, he'd be like, he'd walk down the street. He said, you see Thelonious Monk, he'd walk down the street, and then he'd go to a lamppost, and he'd put his ear against the lamppost, and he'd listen to the hum, and then he'd play the hum. That true. But it's a great story about him. So, Thelonious Monk. I know what to do with math. Listen to this. It's arithmetic, a soundtrack. The motion frozen is in these light posts. It can be sung. I can lift away its logic, make it spin like an orbital satellite, find gambling's true pitch. It can't be played. Adventure, the trying of patience, holding back, holding up, laying out, stop time, slow motion, time travel, space walking. It can be splintered, strained through the fine mesh of a second. Now I try a few bars of what's next. Run it over my hands, ignite it. Make the fire sound like April in Paris. Here's one. There's a few more. No, there's Atomic Prayer. If the bomb drops and I'm riding the Staten Island ferry, give me time to spit in the water. If the bomb drops and I'm on top of the Empire State Building, give me time to toss a penny off the observation deck. If the bomb drops and I'm approaching the subway, let me have the chance to jump the turnstile. If the bomb drops and I'm walking down Fifth Avenue, grant me a loose brick, a fresh plate glass window. Grant us a moment when there'll be no need to play it safe. Give to us the pleasure of misdemeanors. Let each of us do what we've always dreamed of, but we're too polite to act out. Let us extract our brief revenge, spilling and ripping things we've been taught not to handle. If we're to die before we sleep, grant us a moment to uncover the secrets behind the door marked restricted. Authorize us to touch what was always held just beyond our reach. Give us a taste of the stolen world. The mouse. The unexpected appearance of a mouse in the cafeteria of Museum of Modern Art briefly indexed my memory to a picture in the Encyclopedia Britannica of a kangaroo rat, my naive elementary schoolboy belief of good versus bad pests. It is that cute and moves with such indifference, my ears begin to tune themselves for the sound of a child or mother pet hunting. A jangle of blush and small misgivings. Is slightly larger than my thumb, harmless in its desires, but since it's confirmed for once by peripheral vision, I rise from the table as if I were about to give it my evolutionary seat, one species admitting its shortcomings to the next big thing. How do we deal with it? This kinetic ambassador that has suspended forks and conversations, brought us all eye to eye, finally. This is a poem that takes place at the old Tower Records. Does anybody remember the old Tower Records? This is the Tower Records down in Lincoln Center. They were great, right? I mean, everything, now you have to simply just download everything. You don't have a choice, right? Or you buy it online. But record stores were really a cool thing back then, right? I know it dates us all. I understand that. It's okay. It's still cool. You know, the jazz section in particular at Lincoln Center was great. You'd go in, they would simply, you'd have conversations with guys, right? People about jazz, and they'd be talking about who was coming into town and all this kind of stuff. So anyway, this took place at the counter at Tower Records. A small story that involves me. The two guys behind the counter are black. But the point about Jackie Robinson, says one, is the man died a lot sooner than he ought to. You know all this shit he swallowed, had to keep down. And we nod our heads. It's just the three of us there, and I nod, hey, you better believe. And there we are, waiting for my card to clear. Not friends, not strangers. Okay, so I'm gonna do two things. I'm gonna give you one more New York poem, and then I'm gonna do a series of poems that I'm experimenting on right now. Unfortunately, you guys are gonna be the recipients. And then we're gonna do some music. Okay, so this is another New York poem based in New York. I'm 70 years old now, right? Right? And I should applaud that. Any black guy makes it in the 70s should get applause. I'll definitely do that. But really, it was one of those things that basically growing up in the 60s and the 70s, we're the generation where we hated money and we hated possessions. That was supposed to be evil, right? Capitalism was evil, money was evil, turn your bad, right? But then we slowly just turned out being not that, right? But for most of my married life, my wife and I were renters. We still rented an apartment in the West Village, et cetera, et cetera. But then we finally bought a house in upstate New York, in Greene County. 2 little cottages, side by side, divided by a driveway. We've never bought a house before in our lives. The white couch that I found on the curb, a door or 2 down from the new school in New York. Just at the moment my wife and I were looking for furniture for our new house. This is how marriage works. Guy and gal fall in love. Gal moves in. The bachelor pad with the clean, white IKEA sofa is out. This is the way marriage works. Guy and gal buy house. Guy and gal fight over what should go in it. Both problems get settled in the street. I sit on the couch. The couch is mine. I grab my cell phone. I call my wife at work. I found a couch. I cannot move or we lose the couch. The couch is perfect. The couch is free. I wait for Sarah. I guard the couch. Don't touch the couch. Don't consider the couch. And now it starts to rain. I will not move from the couch. And now the sun goes down. I will not budge from the couch. Sarah arrives. The couch is perfect. The couch is free. We guard the couch. We are too weak to lift the couch. We are too few to carry the couch. We fear the rain will soak the couch. We are on the couch, but let's be real, it's New York City. We're easy pickings on the couch. A truck might roll by and take the couch. Maybe we're not meant to have this couch. Maybe we're not worthy. Maybe the Greek gods are having fun with us. Look at them, fools! They will not budge from the couch! Then the torrent, the East Village skinhead, that comes. We need a car to carry the couch. We need some ropes to tie down the couch. One of us must leave the couch. One of us must guard the couch. I am the one who leaves the couch. I am the one who looks for Sarah's mom, who gives me her key, who lends us her car. I am the one who walks the streets searching for rope. Anyone who thinks New York never sleeps should search for rope after 9 p.m. I drift from grocery to magazine shop. What do they think I'm after? My friend, I need something heavier than twine. I examine package after package like a wine snob. Too thin, too short, not enough heft. Maybe they run it when I choose and wait for the headline tomorrow. Oh, yeah, that guy. Rain has fallen on the couch. Night has fallen on the couch. My wife is sitting on the couch. What will happen next? How should we lift the couch? How will we tie down the couch? How far will the couch go before it slips its strings and flies stone-like to the road? And who shall lie beneath the couch? And who shall sue us for this couch? This is when the doorman arrives. He's watched us find and guard the couch. He's watched us find a car to carry the couch. He sees us as we try to lift the couch. This is where the doorman arrives, like the woodchopper who breaks down the door and saves their red-hooded child, like the wand in the cartoon witch's hand that changes time, space, luck. This is the man who has the rope. This is the man who brings his muscles, and the couch is lifted to the roof of the tiny Chevy, and his rope becomes a tight fist of knots. And he tells us the story of how the couch landed on the curb just before I walked by, and how this happens all the time in the ex-East Bloc country he comes from. call this moving, he says. He says, this is living. This is life. Okay. I'm not going to read those other poems because I just really indulge myself too much with the New York poems. So we're going to get Charlie Rowell up here. Now, Charlie and I have been playing together 12 years?
I think so.
Yeah, about 12 years. Maybe 13. First as a band called Rough Magic, and then as a trio with Charlie and Lisa Liu, who is on the West Coast now. But we've been playing and recording for a long time. And we're going to do some songs. It'll Pass By? Sure. We're going to start with a song called It'll Pass By. The prompt for the song comes from Walt Whitman. This is from an encounter Whitman had with one of his biographers. By then he was living in New Jersey. He was a great poet. He was starting to get ill. His biographer, looking at him and seeing that he was not all that great, hoped that Walt would be getting better soon. And Whitman said, well, it's clouded now. Possibly it'll pass by. And I read that story just before the election in 2020, right? And I thought in the country, it's clouded now, maybe it'll get better, right? Too bad 4 years, now we are still 4 years later, we're in the same dilemma, right? We're because we don't know, right? Don't know. Clouded now. Possibly it'll get by, it'll pass by. Anyway, here we go. pretty well. Living with a Stranger. This is about growing old. The body. Never did this to my. I never said these words to my doctor. My doctor never. I never said these words to my doctor, but she might as well have said it. Anyway, living with a stranger. Had a buzz in my belly and a bill in my head. Whip blues in my chest and tears of lead. I went to my doctor and my doctor said, when it's all said and done, living with a stranger son. When it's all said and done, you're living with a stranger son. Who's the man that flattened my heart? Who's the beggar? Who's the thief? Who turned the wine to muddy water? Spill the sails with cream. When it's all said and done, you're living with a stranger son. When it's all said and done, you're living with a stranger son. Used to be well I can barely remember. Thank you. Oh. Okay, this is a blues, and this is about a person named Sam Bolton. Sam Bolton was a slave in Virginia during the Civil War. His master loaned him out to work on the Confederate Railroad. Sam looked at the railroads and realized it was a road. So he used it to walk to the Union lines. Then he came back and got his wife and did it the same way. And then he was a scout for the Union, and he helped them win Virginia. After the war, they moved to Long Island, where he became famous for making pickles. True story. Pickle King. Gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop working for Mr. Mama D. He gave my sweat to the railroad. The rails I but they ain't changed. They never see my face again. Gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Take that big accent all the way. He gave my sweat to the railroad. My feet sprouted wings and flew away. My feet will have a final say. Gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Toss me my paw to my heart. He gave my sweat to the railroad. From Frederick's Hall to Virginia. That's how I was leaving. Won't stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Got my fire upon my head. Took my sweat off the railroad. The river's gonna call the man. Gonna bring back the Union and raise this man. Stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Gonna call back and get my wife. Gonna throw like a rose down the railroad. Go where I left on all the deep spots. Gonna feel like everything take her on. Stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. I can't stand those stories true on the Union here on the railroad. It's got a fire and a fancy. I'll not pretend happy that's a big game. Gonna stop walking till I won't stop walking until I'm free. I'm gonna stop walking till the I won't stop walking until I'm free. Perfect. Okay. Perfect. Okay. The license came on, right? Okay. This is a song called Twilight is the Hour, and I wrote this years ago when I attended a reading here at Bryant Park. I didn't read, but it was just after when Trayvon Martin was killed. And the poets that came were either reading poems in elegy, or had something that was from the atmosphere that killed him. And I noticed when the lights came on, they kind of reminded me of fireflies. Twilight is the hour. la-di-da. Even if he's a stranger, twilight is the art of the motherless child. Twilight is the art of the motherless child. Another man gone, gone on that lonesome ride. Twilight is the hour. There are words we use to follow hence. A prayer to unjumble the madness. The poets breathe Trayvon into the wind. It could happen to you like it happened to him. Twilight is the heart of the motherless child. Twilight is the art of the motherless child. Another man gone, gone on the lonesome ride. Twilight is the hour. Twilight is the hour. Two more. This is based on a project that Charlie's been doing on Phyllis Wheatley, the first slave to have poetry published in the colonies. Yeah, she's an amazing poet, overlooked poet, and Charlie's been setting music to some of Wheatley's poetry. So this is kind of a duet between the two of us. And I'm working on a cycle of poems about Phyllis Wheatley too, about that moment when she had to lose whatever native tongue she had in the continent, and then replace it with her owner's words. What did that feel like? I mean, one thing we know for certain about Phyllis Wheatley is that she was kidnapped when she was about 7 or 8 years old. So if you're 7 or 8 years old, there's certain things you already know, right? You know your name, you know your parents' name, you know people, your relatives, you know the country you're in, all that stuff. What's the word for a bed? What's the word for a bowl? What's the word for all that had to be suppressed, right? And then exchanged. So my cycle is dealing with that moment, what that might have felt like. But Charlie's is about setting it to music. Yeah. So this is a moment where I'm thinking about her trying to, being startled sometime about the language that pops up sometimes when she's, supposedly doing English. It's called memory. In the night, the dreams return. In the night, her mother's milk. In the night, her father's scent. In the night, a world untangled. What's this dust in this black girl's dream? Why does this dream disturb her soul? Before the chains, before the ship, last song is going to be about George Floyd. About a year ago, I was contacted by BBC Radio 4 to do a interview show with some of the fathers of some of the young black men that had been murdered by the police. And I was talking to George Floyd's uncle, and George Floyd's uncle told me that his middle name was Perry. And in the neighborhood and in the family, George Floyd was known as Perry. And he watched his nephew being murdered on cable TV with the rest of us. Perry. Who's that Thank you so much. Showing up, really appreciate it. Charlie Rao, please. Thank you so much. Great to be doing this in New York, right? Thank you.